All right, welcome, guys. This is Breakfast with the Brand, the number one podcast in the world for entrepreneurs and leaders who want to go from bland to industry leading brand. As usual, we have a phenomenal show for you today. But before we get started, go ahead, put your flames in the chat. Also, let us know where you're listening in from. I have with me, as usual, the king of branding himself, Mr. Shaan Rais. And today we're going to get into a little bit of speaking.
One of my favorite topics. Speaking. Listen, guys, if you want to create a phenomenal speaking brand, if you know what that looks like, who knows what that looks like? What does that appear to be? Speaking brand. Put it in the chat. Why is it important? Why is it important to be able to orate, to orchestrate, to be able to speak, to be able to enunciate and pronounce your value to the world? Listen, we are live on LinkedIn twice. LinkedIn Voice, LinkedIn Live, Facebook twice. Inside the group, outside the group, YouTube, Twitter, IG, Instagram as well. It's going to be a phenomenal session. I'm excited. I love
Yes, it
I
is.
love this topic. This is my topic.
Yes, it is. And shout out to Travis. Travis, the critic. He says he's on the East Coast. And he definitely put his flames in the chat.
Okay.
We have just a little bit of shade, Grand Rising. Um,
Okay.
so shout out to Travis, shout out to Shade, everybody on IG, shout out to you,
We are so
Sean.
we are so raw, right? Watch this. We are so live, guys. I just want you to see it, right? Like we are super live, right? If everybody that can't see what I'm doing right now, I'm blurring the camera, right? So you guys can see the blur, just to let you know that we are super live. Everything is authentic, unorchestrated, super authentic. Endurance is on LinkedIn Voice. Phenomenal morning, guys. It's what day is today? It's Wednesday, isn't it?
I believe so.
I'm saying to myself, where's everybody at? I remember I used to do a we going back to I used to do a podcast called Pump Day, right? I used to call it Pump Day because everybody would be like Hump Day. Wednesday is Hump Day, and I'm so
Mhm.
tired and I'm so asleep, and oh my God, it's the worst day of the week. For me, I promise you, today is like the core, right? So some people like to do legs, some people like to do chest and arms and do the up top, some people do the down bottom, but nobody likes the connector. Today is like your core, guys. Today will really show you who you are. I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I was about to post something saying what you're doing right now tells me who you are. What you're doing right now tells me who you are. 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. If you're sleeping, it tells me who you are. If you're the type of person that says, "Oh, I'm here, I'm awake, I'm present, I showed up, it's Wednesday, just another day, guys," you tell me who you are.
I love what Travis just said. So he said Warren Buffett says we can increase our value by at least 50% if we learn how to speak. So Warren Buffett says we can increase our value, right? And I'm assuming he means our value in the market, right?
Of
By
course.
at least 50% if we learn how to speak. Super powerful. Super, super powerful. What are your thoughts on that, Sean?
You could put a zero behind that. Yeah, I'd add a zero to that. You can increase your value by 500% by increasing your ability to speak. By increasing your ability to speak and converse intelligently, you can literally, if you guys listen, if you're at $60,000 a year, you can literally be at $600,000 next year if you learn how to speak the right way. And then you absolutely execute on what you learn.
That's right.
No questions whatsoever, not one question. And then you can add a zero to that the following year.
Let's talk about why. So why exactly? That's super interesting. What is it about speaking that allows people to increase their value? Because from somebody who's just like, let's say for regular people, they're looking at it, well, like I know for me, the first time I saw a professional speaker, like a real professional, I think it was Les Brown. He came down to my country several years ago, and I was privileged enough to go and see him speak. And that's when I really understood it. But before that, I was like, okay, so he gets on stage and he just talks. Like, that's what it appeared to be. Like to an average person, they just get up on stage and they just talk. And so I can imagine for the average person, they may not understand or see or really understand the value of speaking or understand why being able to speak could increase your value by 500%.
So the answer to the question is communication. How did Les Brown make you feel, man, when he spoke? When he came down there and he spoke to you, how did he make you feel? Tell me about that.
Absolutely amazing, brother. Absolutely amazing. Inspired, I think is the word. Inspired.
So watch this. Human performance is what dictates business success or business failure. Human performance. So if you're inspired to perform at a higher level, then the organization or the family unit or the community or the entire country raises itself. Motivation is what people lack. Most people listening to this right now know exactly what they need to do. They know exactly what they need to do. They don't need me to tell them you need to brand you and not what you do. You need to speak more. You need to pick up the phone. You need to call people. You need to add your value. You need to be ethical. You need to be a leader in your life. They already know that. The question is, how many do that? And that's where motivation and inspiration meets diligence, discipline, and execution. Motivation and inspiration need to meet diligence, dedication, and execution, or nothing happens and everything stays the same. But inaction is an action, and indecision is a decision. So when a speaker comes in, a real speaker that can galvanize the audience, that can transform the situation, transform the energy in the room, read the energy in, take the deliverables from the organizer and say, okay, this is what you need, and then tailor their speech to that and speak immediately to their audience. I'm not talking about some cockamamie story. I'm talking about true transformational speaking that can result in increased value, percentages, statistics, and analytical change. When that happens, it changes the world. One person at a time.
So true. Want to say good morning to Portia. So Portia's in the building. Also Yvette is also there. So Yvette says phenomenal morning. Portia says good morning. So good morning to you guys. I want to know, does anybody have any questions as far as it relates to speaking? Any speakers in the audience? Put a number one in the comments if you are a speaker.
Let me say something real quick, guys. Don't be selfish, right? Don't be selfish. Don't keep your routine a secret. Share this out on your page. Let people know what you do at the sacred hour of 7 o'clock in the morning. Let people know what you're doing. Share out this live. Share out this conversation. That's not only me speaking and broadening my audience, but it's you commingling your brand with our brand and being strengthened thereby. It's putting your network on notice as to what you're involved in and as to your values, morals, principles, and motivations and inspirations. So share this out. Do not be alone. Do not be alone in this undertaking. Let people know what you do. Stand for something. Let's grow.
Let's grow. Um, let's see. So we have a number one. So Shade says number one. So Shade is a speaker. Yvette put her flames in the chat as well. Of course, Shade again. So Sean, do we have any questions on IG before we get started on a couple questions?
No questions. No questions. Like I said, it's Wednesday, man. People are late wakers. They're late risers. It's Wednesday, right? I want you to understand something though. Nothing will change until you do. Nothing will change until you do. So if you're not where you want to be in your pay grade, you need to speak to you. It's very important that you put your ears in the fire. Like you gotta be around people that's gonna challenge you. Like I already know. Like I'm a double shot of espresso early in the morning on Wednesday, and people are like, not this morning, not this Wednesday. We'll be here Thursday. We'll be here Friday. Everybody's happy on Friday, but Wednesday it's like it's a hard day for people, right? Listen, you need to be your best in your worst situation. And it's in your worst situation that your actions and your responses truly, truly speak to your character. Truly, truly speak to your character. So I can remember being on stage, right? Being on stage and my microphone would turn off. the sound system would just turn off. And I had to raise my voice so people could hear me in the back. And it was fine because I perform best under pressure. I perform like if everything's fine, then I'm kind of like melancholy because there's no excitement. But when things go wrong or when things start to get rocky, that's when I start to stir and wake up, right? So I love critical situations. In order to speak professionally, you have to be a critical thinker and an extreme executor. Extreme executor. If not, then when things go wrong, you're not going to know what to say or how to respond.
Right. We actually have a question here. So maybe we need some clarification, Sean. Yvette says, "What do you mean by speaker or speaking?"
I love that. I love that, right? Because everybody has a mouth, and she's absolutely correct, right? A professional speaker is someone who gets paid for speaking. A professional speaker is someone who gets paid for speaking. A public speaker is someone who speaks in the public. I don't prefer public speaking. So this would be public speaking, right? And we use our speaking for lead generation just so that you're aware. We add value, over deliver, but we also generate leads. So there's a business outcome. If you're just speaking to speak because you like to hear the sound of your own voice or because someone asked you to speak, but they didn't want to pay you and you're like, okay, no problem, I'll be there, then that's not the right positioning as a speaker.
100%. All right, Sean, we're actually due for our first break. So, guys, when we come back, more on speaking.
Let me show you during this break what speaking professionally looks like. It's very important that you know yourself to the highest degree possible, because it's through knowing ourselves that we're able to know other people. You are the most important person in the room, and the better that you know yourself, the better that you're able to communicate to others. So you're not only playing the game knowing who you are, but you're also playing the game knowing who everyone else is, so that you're not playing blind.
He's extremely engaging with people. He has a fantastic smile, and he's just very high energy person.
This is called leadership development. So we have to be independently knowledgeable and considerate to know who we are so we can more effectively know who other people are. As the leader, it's your responsibility to allocate resources in the right places. If you don't know how to communicate effectively, you're losing the battle. I said Shaan Rais. I'm proud. Shaan Rais. Leadership is not the brand they made for us.
Listen, he brought fire and heat. He didn't hold back.
20 years down the line, what I could sell, why not serve first? Service over salary. Branding like a leader closes the gap for people who want branding. Speaking like a leader closes the gap for people who are nervous about speaking. If Steve Jobs would have speculated, we wouldn't have Apple.
He changed lives. He helped people open up their business and start their business.
We are the brand. Some people say, Sean, should I quit my job? Mentally, yes.
As a speaker too, to be able to learn from him and watch him and you know, game respects game. And I want to have that much game someday.
The right client, pay $500,000 for what you do. You have to be bold in your beliefs.
He has been an amazing asset to this event and a pleasure to work with. Very captivating, collaborative, worked very well with the audience.
I want to help you. Put a 0 behind your number, right?
The session was great. How he is online, virtually, he is even more phenomenal in person.
Be the face of change that you want to see. Stop asking questions and start giving demands.
The entire team has just been absolutely incredible. They are a joy to work with. They go above and beyond.
Give yourself a round of applause. Yes, yes, yes. All right, guys. So real quick, just to add a little bit of value to you right now, because you saw me in different spaces, and because those were speaking events, and because you saw an audience, that's professional speaking. That's professional speaking. That's the definition. If there's no check, if there's no check, there's no business. If there's no check, there's no business. Which means it's a 501c3 model and not an LLC.
Look at what Yvette says. Yvette says, "My pastor slash bishop gets paid hefty for speaking. He said if they don't pay me, I don't speak." That's right. He said if they don't pay me, I don't speak. That's called professional speaking.
Exactly.
That's called professional speaking.
Yeah, you get the check. So listen, guys, when I agree to come, I get paid 50%. When I show up before I go on stage, the other 50% is paid. Whether that's 10K, 20K, 30K, 50. It doesn't make a difference. Half now, half upon arrival. If that's not you, then you need to go through speaking like a leader. You need to learn how to negotiate your fees, negotiate your speaking fees. You need to learn how to be of value, how to brand you, and how to position yourself as value in the marketplace. So you don't just get asked to speak or get a mic shoved in front of you without being compensated.
Right. Let's get into a little bit of routine. So most people have a morning routine. So some people wake up, they work out. Some people hit the road. Some people pray, right? They meditate. Do speakers have a routine? So if you want to be a professional speaker, is there a certain kind of routine that you should adopt?
I love that question. Me, myself, I work out, right? I work out, I pray, I do all of those things. I meditate, and then I read. Then I involve myself in the mass accumulation of information that is pertinent to my client's desired outcome. So I'm a speaker in the space of leadership development, professional positioning as a brand, marketing, sales, branding, leadership, all of those areas. So I keep myself grounded in those areas, and I consistently study. I've got books all around me. I always do. I'm always studying. And watch this. Now, this is the other part. I not only study, I also market. So you have to be a marketer, because as a speaker, you're not really in the speaking business. You're in the business of marketing your speaking services. I want everybody to be clear on that. You are in the business of marketing your speaking services. So I literally, this morning, I probably posted and scheduled 5 posts, if not 7, already before people wake up and roll over. Because I am in business. Because I'm not in the business, I'm not in the 501c3 realm. I'm not writing grants and trying to get proposals. I'm in the LLC realm. So what I do is pay for play. Like I don't do things for a pat on the back. I don't need that. I don't do the honorarium thing. I'm far beyond that. You got to understand where you are in your business. So one of the things that a speaker must do is promote themselves. Absolutely mandatory.
So guys, today you heard it.
Yeah, I know that hurt. That probably hurt a couple people. Like, wow,
I'm sure it did.
wow, what am I doing? Yeah, you got to position yourself, and you're not positioned if you're not in front of eyeballs that can pay you.
I guess the next natural question would be like, well, Sean, how do I get in front of eyeballs that can pay me? What does that process look like?
Branding first. You got to make sure that you're the right person. You're probably not the right person that you want to put in front of the eyeballs that can pay you. Let me say it this way. Everybody is in front of eyeballs that can pay them right now. Everybody is in front of eyeballs that I can pay you when you present yourself the right way. We're doing an event later this year. Not everybody is touching that stage. You know people that are throwing events. Everybody here knows people that are throwing events, knows people that are speaking. You're in the speaking space, but you have yet to become serious about it. See, when I became serious about it, I did more than 10 YouTube videos a week. Sometimes I did more than 10 YouTube videos a day. And I posted every single day to YouTube when nobody was paying attention at all. Do you think I cared about who was paying attention or not? Not at all. Not at all. Because it wasn't their vision to have it. It wasn't their dream to have it. It was my vision to create my reality. My vision to create my reality. So I was persistent. I wasn't saying, oh, nobody's looking. Oh my God, nobody liked it. Oh Lord, what am I going to do? Nobody's paying attention. I don't have the right phone. I don't have the right lights. I don't have the microphone. Nobody knows who I am. I don't have the right attire. I didn't say that. I said what Mev said. Happy Mev B says, phenomenal morning too. He said, here I come on IG. And that's what I said to the world. Here I come. Get ready. Get ready. Make way. I put the world on notice, and I do it to this day. You haven't begun yet. And that's why you are where you are. You haven't even begun the process of coming out of your shell.
So Travis has a question. Travis says, when beginning to speak for branding, is there such a thing as too much speaking?
I love the question. Never. Now, you can speak yourself out of a deal, yes. You can speak yourself out of an opportunity, yes. Just the same way you can speak yourself out of a relationship, right? So I'm going to say smart brevity. I'm going to use that word again. And I would really like to see who bought the book. Yeah, smart brevity. And they're not paying me to promote it. It's just a phenomenal expose on intelligent use of words. So is there such a thing as too much speaking? Let me ask you, are you where you need to be yet in your business? Are you in the billionaire space? Are you in the multi-millionaire space? And if you're not, then you can't speak enough. You need to speak until people hear you, and then you need to speak until people pay you. You get better when you practice. Practice makes permanent. If you're not speaking, then listen, you're not speaking. That not speaking is speaking, bro. You're saying volumes to me when I see you quiet in the marketplace, when I don't hear you in the marketplace, when you post sporadically here and next month, when I see a picture of you, but I don't know what your voice sounds like. You know what you're saying to me? You're not confident. You're not ready yet.
100%. So Travis, there's no such thing as too much speaking, especially if you're just getting started. People need to know who you are. It's so funny, Sean. I was listening to something actually yesterday, and a guy was saying that when he really started to take his branding seriously, he started to produce almost like 120 pieces of content a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
120 pieces a week.
All day.
And I'm sure many of that was videos, reels, long form content, live video, videos of him speaking as well. So it's amazing. It's amazing. Let's see. So Travis says I had to keep speaking. I got it.
Good. Janet Lawrence, phenomenal morning on IG. Endurance, phenomenal morning on LinkedIn Voice. You have to speak. Look at Clubhouse. Now, it was so interesting in Branded Like a Leader. People were like, oh, I got to speak. I got to come out. I got to do this. I'm like, yeah, you got to speak. You got to come out. And then Clubhouse came out and they were like, oh, great. All the introverts ran over to Clubhouse and they said, cool, nobody has to see me yet. I said, no. You still have to be seen. So you can do the Clubhouse thing, right? We can do the LinkedIn Voice thing. You can do the Twitter. They're doing a live call over there too. And it's voice. So you can do the voice thing, but you have to be seen too. Because people don't buy what you say. They pay for what they see. Nobody's hiring someone to speak from behind the curtain, guys. I just want to be like keep it 100 and maybe smash the chandelier over the elephant's head one time because it's Wednesday morning and I'm not going to lie to people. I'm not that person. I'm not going to give you false hope. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you, whether you like it, love it, hate it, whatever. I'm not here for that. I get a check regardless. So I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you and help you to become successful if that's what you want to be. I'm not going to help you feel good if you don't want to be successful. You're in the wrong place. If you want to be successful, though, you're in the right place. Stop hiding. Start speaking. And for I think somebody just asked, is there such a thing as too much speaking? Watch this, and you tell me. The reason why I did this and what I do is help leaders to become brands and brand themselves. You train people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. I teach authenticity marketing. If people can take advantage of you, they will in your personal or professional existence.
My biggest takeaway just from day one is you are the brand. I would recommend it to anybody that's really looking to build a personal brand.
Just the brand in general has changed my life. I've grown so much since I've been a part of this.
I see myself in what he does, and I believe in it just as much as I believe in myself.
Business is like a game of chess. It's not checkers. If you don't know how to lead with a personal brand, then you're losing the battle.
Everything about Shaan's talk was fantastic. I mean, I got so much from it.
So he was really bringing fire and passion and just love and spirit to let everybody else know how do you become a leader amongst the leaders.
You hold the key in your hand. There is more power in this phone than there was that took the first man to the moon.
His energy, his dynamic information, gave a really great presentation.
I didn't ask for any money. I didn't have an offer. I had a heart to help people and meet them where they were at and find their need and fulfill it.
Shaan is the bomb.
I don't talk theory, I don't talk hyperbole, I don't talk opinion. Nothing I talk is anything but evidence-based.
During the G-Circle retreat in Atlanta, I had the pleasure and the honor of listening to Mr. Shaan Rais. He will not only impact your organization, but he will elevate your team to another level.
When you change you, when you put you into the equation, the whole system is different. I guarantee you, you got the right thing. You are the right person. If you can present yourself in the best way possible, there's no negotiation.
His energy is infectious, and I have so many takeaways from the presentation that I can't wait to get started and implement them today to see the result.
I hope some people have their questions answered, right? I hope some people have their questions answered. Put it in the chat. What was your takeaway? Is there such a thing? Now answer your own question. Is there such a thing as too much speaking? Guys, watch this. I love to travel. You like to travel? Start speaking. I like freedom. You want to be free? Start speaking. Listen, guys, watch this. And I don't, let me not be too political, but every party that was ever oppressed became free through speaking. Speaking out against, speaking up, demanding rights, speaking. It's oration, it's protest. Huh? Come on. You want more money? Start speaking. Even in the stock exchange, in Wall Street, you see numbers and you see digits in the stock market. People are still speaking in order to make those numbers rise or fall. It's called performance-based. Listen. Just that word, listen. What did you hear the people saying? I had the pleasure of listening to Mr. Shaan Rais. He was a pleasure to listen to. His coordination with the audience. There is no coordination with the audience if you're not speaking. You must speak. You must speak. I had a saying that I coined in speaking like a leader. If you can't speak, you can't eat.
That's right. And that's not even, and Sean, that's not even on the stage, man. That's just in regular life. That's on a closing call. That's in a course. That's in everything you do. You know what I'm saying? That's in every single thing you do. So guys, you have to learn how to basically communicate your ideas,
Speak.
communicate your thoughts.
You must speak.
Sean, I have a question about AI, and I noticed that we just published something on LinkedIn. Actually, we just published an article on LinkedIn. So guys, go check it out. It was actually about artificial intelligence. Where do you see communication playing a role as we move into this new, some would say a new economy, some would say a new world? What role do you see communication playing, or and in fact, how important is it to be able to effectively communicate your ideas despite things like artificial intelligence?
It is absolutely imperative. If you can't speak, you can't eat. If you can't speak, you can't penetrate the market. You can't penetrate the ideas of another person. If your skill set, so watch this, if your skill set
Hold on, Sean. I don't think we can hear you. Can you say that one more time?
you can't hear me?
Okay, now we can.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So I got quiet real quick. That's what happened. I got quiet, put my hands up. I want to make sure that I say this the right way. So watch this, guys. Rahul, I see you. I see you all on IG, LinkedIn, boys. I hope you guys are paying attention on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Listen, the rich and the poor are getting further and further apart. The haves and the have-nots are getting further and further apart. The middle class is having to make a choice, whether they want to be poor or whether they want to be rich. They're literally being removed. The middle class is finding it harder and harder to do what they want to do, move where they want to do, unless they add a zero to the back of their number and become some of the rich. They're realizing that they're actually poor. They're actually poor because the disparity in economy is becoming such that you have to pick and choose. The way to do this is to become more effective as a communicator, to connect and communicate your value more succinctly. Please understand this. All non-communicative skills are going to be outsourced. All IP, all non-communicative skills, all coding will be automated. All customer service almost will be automated. Emails, blogs, all that stuff that people say they do because they're introverted. I don't want anyone to see me. I don't want to speak. I want to hide behind the pen. I want to type and I want to post. I can go to chatbot GPT and say, tell me the difference between a billionaire and a millionaire, and they'll give me a blog. They'll give me a blog now, Junior. I can say, tell me the importance of speaking, and AI will tell me the importance of speaking. So what's the difference between you and a chatbot typing? Not very much. What's really different is the way you're able to connect, collaborate, and communicate. That's it. Now, AI has yet to end. Listen, I promise you, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow, AI will be on stage as a digital hologram or a robot holding a microphone and motivating people. I'm just, I'm trying to find out how to trademark the white shirt and red tie, so they'll try to do that. But I promise you guys, listen. Your ability to speak will will imperviously impact your ability to eat. There is no question. There is no will it help or not. It will. Leaders who lead effectively, leaders who lead teams, leaders who lead effective Fortune 500 organizations, Fortune 100 organizations, they all communicate effectively and succinctly. And the ability for them to continue to remain in that seat and to continue to earn is based on their ability to continue to learn and continue to orate at a super high standard. As soon as your standards and your performance drops, so does your pay grade and so does your ability to be free and really make choices. You won't be able to get by just getting by anymore. You'll be replaced trying to just get by.
With that being said, what would you say are the most important skills? So let's imagine that you could that you're speaking to somebody who's a little younger, right? Maybe somebody who's like 19, 20, maybe 17. And
Okay.
they're looking to, like, make their way in the world. They're looking to discover their passion. They're looking to get out into the market, start doing something for themselves. What advice would you give somebody, of that age, somebody who's really just trying to discover themselves and to set themselves up for the future, based on where the world is going?
I would have to use my 3D framework. I would have to use my 3D framework and I would ask them to define what it is that they really want in their life and then decide what they're willing to do for it and then design their ideal life and what that looks like. First, you have to see it in order to believe it and receive it. You have to see it. You have to perceive it to believe it and receive it, right? So first, I would say define it. What does it look like? And most people are gray. Most people are living in the gray. They're living in the fog. It's hazy. It's unclear. And that's how they ended up where they are at 40, 50. They don't know how they got there. They just fell asleep one day, 14, and they woke up 54. And they're like, God, what do I do now? Right? So most people wake up by mistake. They just roll over, the alarm goes off, and they're not intentional. That's when you need an alarm clock, you're not intentional. If you're intentional, then you wake up on purpose and wake up on passion. Most people don't do that. They have to set their alarm clock or they'll just sleep. Right? So, because they don't have the real reason to get up. So I would say define what that reason is, that thing that's going to compel you, that thing that you're passionate about, and then decide what you're willing to sacrifice for it. Because you're going to have to give a lot of time, you're going to have to give a lot of money, and you're going to probably give a lot of years to it. Heartache, bloodshed, all of it. Sacrifice all of it. I remember, what's this guy, man? Who's the Gary V? Gary V said he sacrificed from 14 to 40. Gary V said he sacrificed from 14 to 40 to become who the world knows him as now. He didn't do parties. He didn't have a life in college. He worked and sweated in his father's liquor store. He had no life, and not liquor, but wine, spirits. He had no life. He said, sacrifice your 20s and 30s. You want to be successful? Sacrifice your 20s and 30s. So that's what I would say. I would say decide, like define what it looks like and then decide what you're willing to give. And if you're willing to give enough, then I will help you design that. Or I would tell them to now that you have a clear picture, now that you have clarity, now that you can clarify, now you can simplify and amplify. You have to design it now. Design it. How does it look in detail? What does it look like? Are you traveling the world? Is it international or is it national? Are you speaking on stages? Are you speaking to people? Are you flying? Are you traveling? Are you married? Do you have children? You got to do all these things intentional. You can't have a life by mistake, guys. Most people say that, my children were unplanned. What does that say about their life? What does it say about your life? People have college degrees and things that they don't have a business in, or they're not going to work in. They just said, I'll do this because everybody else is doing it, or it sounds good for the moment, so I just guess I'll do that.
Right.
You open your mouth to speak, you must make a point. Les Brown told me, right? So you went to see Les Brown. He was the first speaker that you saw. I've spoken with Les Brown on numerous occasions, have a phenomenal respect, admiration, and affinity for the gentleman. And he said his birthday just passed too. He said to me, he said, Shaan, never tell a story without a point and never make a point without a story. That's why I go off sometimes when I'm making a point. I'll go into a story because I was trained well. I was trained well. I just put up a picture of me with Eric Thomas. Like, these are people that I know well. You got to get to know who's leading the field in the industry that you want to be in. Who's doing what you don't want to, what you want to do. You have to know those people and try to find those people or find a way to align yourself with those people and get in where you fit in. And the only way you can do that is by speaking, making yourself known. What do they say? The squeaky wheel gets the grease. You got to let people know that you exist. If we're in a room of people and I'm done speaking and people are coming up to me to speak to me and to shake my hand and to ask a question, they're the ones that I'm going to serve. If you're quiet and in the corner, you're going to be quiet and in the corner. But if you raise your hand and ask a question, you just might get served. And if I'm in the room, you definitely will. But you got to raise your hand. You got to be in the building. You got to be in the room, which means you got to pay for the ticket. What do they say? That part? You got to pay for the ticket, right? You got to be in the room first. And then once you get in the room, you got to raise your hand and speak or sit up in the front. Watch this, Junior. When I was in a physical school setting, I always showed up around 7 for classes that were opening around 9 so I could get the right seat. And the right seat was in the front. But watch this. The right seat and the right positioning, your body language, guys. I said, change your attire to match your desire 3 years ago. Change your attire to match your desire. Your colors speak volumes. Your posture speaks volumes. Your attitude speaks more than your mouth could ever say. Whether you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed or still sleeping and wiping stuff out of your eyes says everything about you. You don't have to say anything. All I got to do is lay eyes on you, and I already know the frequency. I know the energy in the room. A lot of times people, that's the problem. A lot of times people speak good, but they present terribly.
You said they speak good, but they present terribly.
Terribly.
Guys, let's go to a quick break. Shaan, when we come back, we're gonna unpack that.
Woo! Right. Yeah, let's unpack that when we get back. The reason why I did this and what I do is help leaders to become brands and brand themselves. You train people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. I teach authenticity marketing. If people can take advantage of you, they will in your personal or professional existence.
My biggest takeaway just from day one is you are the brand. I would recommend it to anybody that's really looking to build a personal brand.
Just the brand in general has changed my life. I've grown so much since I've been a part of this.
I see myself in what he does, and I believe in it just as much as I believe in myself.
It's very important that you know yourself to the highest degree possible, because it's through knowing ourselves that we're able to know other people. You are the most important person in the room, and the better that you know yourself, the better that you're able to communicate to others. So you're not only playing the game knowing who you are, but you're also playing the game knowing who everyone else is, so that you're not playing blind.
He's extremely engaging with people. He has a fantastic smile, and he's just very high energy person.
This is called leadership development. So we have to be independently knowledgeable and considerate to know who we are, so we can more effectively know who other people are. As the leader, it's your responsibility to allocate resources in the right places. If you don't know how to communicate effectively, you're losing the battle. I said Shaan Rais. I'm proud. I said Shaan Rais. Leadership is not the brand they made for us.
Listen, he brought fire, heat. He didn't hold back.
20 years down the line, what I could sell, why not serve first? Service over salary. Branding like a leader closes the gap for people who want branding. Speaking like a leader closes the gap for people who are nervous about speaking. If Steve Jobs would have speculated, we wouldn't have Apple.
He changed lives. He helped people open up their business and start their business.
We are the brand. Some people say, Sean, should I quit my job? Mentally, yes.
As a speaker too, to be able to learn from him and watch him and game respects game. And I want to have that much game someday.
The right client, pay $500,000 for what you do. You have to be bold in your beliefs.
He has been an amazing asset to this event and a pleasure to work with. Very captivating, collaborative, worked very well with the audience.
I want to help you. Put a 0 behind your number, right?
The session was great. How he is online, virtually, he is even more phenomenal in person.
Be the face of change that you want to see. Stop asking questions and start giving demands.
The entire team has just been absolutely incredible. They are a joy to work with. They go above and beyond.
Give yourself a round of applause. Yes, yes, yes. Guys, you got to speak. You got to speak. You have to speak in this space. You must speak. Come on, let's go.
That's right, guys. So, Sean, before we left, you said something like you dropped like this bomb, right? So you said something about there are many good speakers who don't present well. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Make your attire match your desire. Make your attire match your desire. You have to present well. Body language is everything. If your body language is off, so the percentage of attention, let's talk about the percentage of attention and perception. Okay, you have to become a student of human behavior. You have to become an active listener. You have to become a critical thinker. All of those things. People hear what you do more than what you say. People hear what you do more than what you say. So watch this. I like everything to be evidence-based, guys. I could give you numbers. I could give you numbers off the top of my head, but I don't want to do that. I want to give you accurate numbers. So I'm going to Google something real quick and give you accurate numbers on the latest, because stats change, right? Stats change. So latest percentages of communication, oral, physical, and kinesthetic. It is percentages. What are the 3 types of learning style percentages? Pay very close attention. This is what I do. This is what I do. Okay? In the general population, the distribution of the 3 learning styles is, pay very close attention, 65% visual. Why do I say? I say it all the time. People don't believe what you say. They pay for what they see. They don't believe what you say. You wonder why nobody's buying? Because they don't believe what you say. They pay for what they see. So when we say we help people and we give value and we give more for free than you get for a fee, here we are doing it again, once again, early in the morning. Nobody paid for this. However, what I'm giving you is an MBA in business and a doctorate in success. 65% visual, 30% auditory, and 5% kinesthetic. I'm going to say it again so it goes another level deeper. 65% visual. People believe what they see more than what you say. They believe what they can see. So if you don't have a website, if you're not speaking, if you don't have footage, if you did such phenomenal work for the past 20 years, but no one can see it, if it's not documented, it never took place. It never took place. I don't care what you say. I can't show it to a third party and go get a loan based on what you said. I can only fund you based on what I see. Because if I see it and I can believe it, which means it looks good, I can show it to someone else. People wonder why everybody doesn't just come on the Breakfast with the Brand and everybody's not just being, put in position. You have to put yourself in position. And then someone else can help you put yourself in a higher position, but no one's going to help you tarnish their image or their brand standards. You think why you don't get the job? You might not get the job, not because you weren't qualified, but just because you don't present the part. So 65% visual, 30% auditory, and 5% kinesthetic. 5% what they can feel. Some people need to see it, touch it, smell it, taste it, right? If it's food and all that good stuff. But 30% of what you say is what's received. 65% of a person's impression of you is based on what they see and how you present. Do the research. Become a doctor in what you say you love and what you say you're passionate about. Don't guess and don't pull figures out of the air.
Wow. So you said 65% visual.
Yes.
You said another, was it 25%?
It was 30%. 30% auditory and 5% kinesthetic. So watch this. I'm gonna prove the kinesthetic part right now. When we took people off Zoom and put them in the room, it became kinesthetic. Now, if you see me in different places where I'm actually physically embracing people. Now, they have been watching me for years. They've been listening to me for years. They may have been in our communities for years. But when they came in the room, and I said this to June Archer on thisis50.com, I said, when sometimes you want to touch the hem of his garment. It has to be real. Like some people need to touch it. Like I'm not sure. I go to events because I want to see who says they're who and whatever the case may be, because it's different when you look a person in the face. It's different when you're in the room than when you're on a Zoom or looking at a YouTube video. It's real different. Some people are like, I don't know, is he really that person? Does he really act like that in person? Come see me. Come see me. There's a difference in the room than in the Zoom, and I don't get quieter.
Guys, by the way, Shaan, we are doing something this year, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Let's talk to that a little bit. I don't think we've spoken about that at all. So
Okay,
let's talk to that just a little.
No problem at all. So in last year when we did the Myrtle Beach Mastermind, everyone who came got on the stage. Every single person. No one who came in the door did not get on stage. The entire first day was dedicated to me helping people get their footage right. Everybody got on stage. Everybody got a microphone. Everybody was given 5 to 10. We had just finished Speaking Like a Leader. So we taught you how to speak first. Understand me. Everybody who touched the stage went through Speaking Like a Leader. So they knew what to say and how to say it. And we put them on stage and they got footage. And then we did headshots and all of it. So we're all about, I tell you guys this all the time, it's not about me, it's about you. I push so hard, not just to fulfill my own destiny and legacy and all of that good stuff, but also to invoke excellence in you. So you can say, you know what, if Shaan came from Harlem and he came from this and he came from that and he didn't have nothing and his home was broken and he's able to change his life, then maybe I can too. And you would be 1000% correct and edified in thinking so. That's why I didn't stop at 1 doctorate. That's why I didn't stop at 2 master's degrees. Listen. There's nothing that I have done that you can't do times 10. But you got to believe in you like I believe in me. So yes, we're having a Myrtle Beach Mastermind again. MBM, Myrtle Beach Mastermind. And you got to take steps. You got to take steps if that's what you want to do. If you want to come from the Zoom into the room, then do so. If you got to get on planes, guys. If you want to professionally speak, you got to get on planes. Coaching came from face to face. It didn't start on Zoom. I know everybody's like, the post-pandemic thing and everybody's a coach on Zoom and all that stuff. Coaching came from Fortune 500 company succession planning. and being in the room with executives who were worth multi-millions of dollars and helping them change behavioral habits and psychological concepts in order to go to the next level. You got to get on a plane at some point in your life. You got to get over it. And you got to travel, which means you got to make arrangements, professional arrangements. If you can't show up on time, if you can't book a flight, if you can't book a hotel, if you can't make sure that your stuff is laid out, then you're never going to be successful in anything that you really try to do. Anything that you do is going to be super small. So yes, again, May 9th and 10th. I think it's 9th and 10th. May 9th or 10th, we will be in Myrtle Beach again for the Myrtle Beach Mastermind second season, the second wave, the second coming. You better be ready because we're not playing games. We're not going to stop. We're not going to wait. And we're not going to twist your arm and beg you to do what you need to do in order to become successful. If you want to become successful, then here we are. You know how to get in contact with us. We keep putting that banner up on the bottom, livedeepdive.com. We're going live for you. We're doing this to help you. I travel and still do what I do for you. And I will continue to do what I do and be enriched by what I do. And you get to choose whether you work with those who give you more for a fee or more for free than you get for a fee, or keep chasing your tail, running around and, find yourself in the same place next year, same place year after that. You have to do some things that are going to make you uncomfortable. Speaking is one of them.
100%. Guys, so we're actually about to wrap up. Shaan, any final words before we wrap up? Yeah, the time is already up, man.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
We have like 2 minutes before we have to sign off.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Listen, guys, if you want to know how to transform your brand, go from inanimate to recognized, go from invisible to invincible, go from bland to industry leading brand, go from the BKS to the OVO, the best kept secret to the only viable option, just come on the call. livedeepdive.com. Again, livedeepdive.com, Saturday at 5 p.m. For those of you who don't want to wait, listen, this is the best. That's the best advice. The best advice is brandedlikealeader.com. Start somewhere. Start somewhere. Put some yen in. Email us if you're super serious. If you're super serious, comment below hashtag speaking like a leader. Skip to the front of the line. Hashtag speaking like a leader. We taught speaking, coaching, branding, consulting, marketing. You get in where you fit in based on your education, experience, and expertise, or you continue to play the sidelines. This is what we do, and we want to help you to do it. I don't know where you're at in your life. Chances are, let me say it this way. I don't know where you're at in your life. I believe that everybody's phenomenal, but in business, I believe that everybody's playing small. Everybody's playing small. You could be playing a much bigger game. And where your life is right now, where your business is right now, where your bank account is right now is based on the investments that you've made in yourself. I didn't say it. Warren Buffett said it. I didn't say it, right? Warren Buffett said it. Don't look at Shaan with the screw eye, right? Because I didn't say it. Let me see. Hold on. Where's it at? Where's that at? Find that real quick and put that up. Travis said it, right? Travis said
somewhere right.
Right? So it's not Shaan Rais coming for you, right? History tells the tale. History tells the tale. You have to make a bigger investment. You have to define where you want to be. And then you have to make a decision. And then once you make the decision, you have to make the design. So again, guys, it's define, decide, and design, which means you have to take action. Get on the plane. Put yourself in a place of uncomfortability. And nobody likes to spend money. Nobody likes to say, okay, watch this, guys. How are you perceived? Remember what I talked about when I said the place where you sit, being in the front? Everybody takes the plane, but who makes the sacrifice to sit in first class so they can see themselves in a different way? They say, well, watch this. And the difference between the difference between first place or the first class and coach is like $1,000, $2,000 in some instances. And you're like, well, I'm going to the same place. It only makes sense. That's how you see yourself. And if that's how you speak to yourself and how you see yourself, how are the people that you want to pay you supposed to see you? Treat yourself. I say this all the time. We train people how to treat us when they meet us based on how we treat ourselves. So if we treat ourselves as coach, then they're going to treat us as economy seats. They're not going to pay you what you want them to pay you, nor are they going to take you as seriously as you would like them to take you. It's follow the leader right now. This is follow the leader, and you lead public impression. Remember what I just said. It's not even what you say, it's what they see. I just showed you 30%, 65%. So how do you adorn yourself? How do you adorn your best version? How much money do you spend on the way you present, the way you attire yourself, and how you present? A lot of times we're asking people to give us the respect that we don't give ourselves. I think I'm gonna leave it right there. I don't think I can say anything more powerful than that. Let's grow.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one, guys.
Let's grow.
Listen. Before Shaan keeps going off on you guys, we're gonna go ahead. You're gonna wrap it up.
No. I had to learn this myself, Junior. I'm not going off on I went off on myself because I was low tone. I was low key. I come from a place where it's dangerous to be seen. I know what it, and I was taught the same thing everybody else is taught. Save your money, conserve your money. Just save your money. It's gonna stack on its own. Hope for the best. Come on, man. We live in a real world. You got to do real things. We're working with real people. We got to make a real impression, and we got to make it fast. If the last 3 years hasn't taught us anything, it should have taught us that time is of the essence. Stop playing games, man. Stop playing games with yourself and expect other people to take you seriously. When you get up in the mirror, when you wake up in the morning, the hour that you wake up in the morning, whether you wake up on your own because you're passionate or because some instrument you set has to wake you up and make you move, that says so much to you. Before you speak to me, speak to yourself the right way. You say, talk to me right, talk to me nice, talk to yourself nice. You'll be fine speaking in front of other people as long as you can speak to yourself the right way.
That was powerful. Guys, this has been Breakfast with the Brand. Thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. In fact, 7 a.m.
Yep, get it right. I'm scrambling senses right now, guys. Get it right. Let's grow.
East. That's right, 7 a.m. East. Have a phenomenal day, guys. Let's grow.
Let's grow.